Happy Sunday. Well, that's very bright on you. Did I switch that? I don't like that either.
I didn't turn on the one up there.
There we go. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday.
My hair is just kind of a mess.
I promise, you know, some days we really do, like, work the stuff out beforehand.
We've been chatting.
We have been. This is P over here.
Em over there.
Patricia.
Mariah.
And together,
we are PM Artist Studio.
Woohoo! Do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. Otherwise, I do not know that you are here. And then you're just a number. Please don't be just a number. That makes us sad.
It does.
It does. At least say hello. Then you can, you know, carry on. Do whatever you need to do. Clean the house. Art along.
Eat pizza.
Eat pizza. For breakfast. See, so I don't know what has happened. This camera has come down much lower. And so now I'm fighting with, like, keeping that out of anyway. Okay, let's say hello to everybody.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, it's right at the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I sit down
Well,
like
with the watercolor, I think we did bring it down a little bit lower than, but then I have to kind of fight with this whole situation. But anyway.
This looks lopsided, but I don't think that really matters, right?
This, it is. It matters to me, especially after you say something.
Oh.
I'm just going to have the camera in the top part there. We're going to go with that.
Okay.
So, what are we going to do today? We are going to, just got a couple of thoughty, you know, funny, arty things.
Yeah, but I can't save till Thursday because, well, number one, it just, you know, you need to strike while the iron is hot. And it won't be relevant on Thursday because it's relevant right now.
There you go. All right,
on the continue.
I'm going to start saying hello to peoples. We've got Acme, Art Curious, that's Miriam, Barbara, Becky, Belinda, Betsy, Carol, Carrie, Colleen, Devin, Griffinshield, that's Rhonda, Jeanette, a.k.a. Jeanette, Carla, Kathy, Kylie, Legia is here. Oh, who just popped in there? Eddie popped in there. Lolly's here. Lydia, Michelle, Mitzi, Nancy. Hello, Nancy. I believe you are new. And let's see. I think Linda just popped in there. See, it just starts.
Did you say Mitzi?
Boop, boop, boop.
Who's Mitzi?
Mitzi.
Is Mitzi? I don't know Mitzi.
She comes fairly often.
Hi, Mitzi.
She's a regular.
Is she?
I'd call her a regular.
But you know, I'm not used to watching this thing.
Terry and Lori are here. Okay. Let's see, some other people's are popping in. It moves the thing, and then I'm like, I think that was Kathleen.
Carla's going to the TV.
Colleen, the other Colleen's here. Christy Funkhauser, I think I may have said
Nancy
that.
Chase is
Paula Penka, Quirky Queens, that's Kirsten. Ricky Nordmeyer is here. Our winner big dinner, you know, from the, you know, a couple streams ago.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
I know, great picture.
Yeah.
Good job, Ricky. Susan's here. Suzanne, Tamarie, we call her Tam, and Texture Junkies, that's Sharon, and the Shelly Studio, that's Margot. Wendy, hello Wendy. Alright, I don't think that's our usual Wendy, unless you changed your icon, because it's Wendy Orr, and ours is usually Wendy H, so, new Wendy. Hello, hello. And hello Marta, I don't think I said Marta.
Oh, good morning from San Diego.
Alright.
All right is right. I meant to ask about the hurricane.
I think most
San
people
Diego.
ended up unscathed. Now, I do know that Rhonda had said that it was kind of crazy that night.
But it didn't hit straight on San Diego.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, not that I have seen or...
I love San Diego. It's my favorite part of California.
I said I was going to reserve all feelings about California until I had gone to, like, San Francisco and, like, the Napa Valley.
I love San Francisco.
I've never been
it's cold there.
Mm-hmm. We should go do that and, like, drink wine.
I know, but when I drink wine, I get red. I have to rest.
Maybe we should just skip all that and just go to Kentucky and drink whiskey.
This is true.
It's an option.
I don't know that Kentucky's We'd have to go in the wintertime because it's hot in the summertime.
Somebody made a comment that said the painting started at this and gave a timestamp. I was like, that was nice. That's helpful.
Yeah, right.
You know, I like
sure.
that.
Sure. Well, we're going to kind of do a mini Thirsty Thought. I'm not going to go, you know, like all philosophical on you. I just found these quotes the other day when I was looking for this
Hey,
one,
John.
and it was because of Kylie's video.
Hey, Lolo.
She had a little blue square down in the corner down there, and I wanted to make sure that I had quoted it correctly. And it says, "If I don't have red, I use blue."
That's Picasso.
Picasso. Yeah, I thought that was great.
Maybe.
You know, the man did say some things that were worth
Hi, Lynn.
repeating. Okay, here, this is a good one too. And this kind of, I think, sums up what we do here quite nicely. When art critics get together, they talk about form and structure and meaning. When artists get together, they talk about where you can buy cheap turpentine.
So, yeah, that really kind of explains things around here. I mean, we do have some arty
Okay,
stuff,
well,
but it's
you know,
always
where-
usually like,
You
yeah.
know, where can you get the best deal on gesso?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which gesso
okay.
are you using?
Now, and this segues into what we're going to do today, basically, after I show you my rocks. You have to have an idea of
Hey, Randy.
what you are going to do, but it should be a vague idea. And I think I put that another way. I said you do need to have an idea. Just make sure it's not set in concrete.
Yeah. That's when you get in trouble.
That's when you frustration and the whole, you know, I hate what I'm doing. I suck.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. My paper's loosening up here. The humidity must be pretty high today. Okay.
I wish it was higher, like, you know, with it falling out of the sky would be super.
Oh man, it is so
so
dry and hot. And you should see the poor little plants.
The plants
the
are looking
geranium
very
is
sad.
just not happy at all. I'm hoping it makes it. I'm gonna go out.
Hey, it's gone through worse. I mean,
Yeah, it has. And it's just this time of year when, you know, there's not any moisture in the air. Okay, I'm going to
that's right, Carrie. Vague idea. Be prepared to modify the plan.
do these in order of which I attacked them.
Anthony says, be vague unless writing a contract.
There you go.
So
And that's where vague and your friend. Yeah.
Lolo says, vague is my superpower. Maybe that would be the good shirt, would be, I vague, I don't vogue.
Really. There's, yeah, you don't want to mix up one for the
Yeah.
other. Okay, I'm ready to go topside.
Okay. What am I doing? Oh yeah, there we go.
Okay, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to move my coffee out of the way because I don't.
Yeah, it's a little.
It's a little much, and I can get a little bit more.
Yeah, you gotta push in.
I have
There
to
you
push
go.
in. There we go. Okay. A couple, you know, well, more than a couple. I wanted to talk about a few things here.
Hey, they like that. I'm throwing out t-shirt ideas. Brad says someday we'll be able to do t-shirts. So, you know, I need to start a book.
I have T-shirts coming, and it just seems like I ordered them a long time ago, but they're not here yet. Pardon me. I suspect they have to.
Damn,
They're on the slow boat.
could be.
From.
It's really weird. Some mail has been moving. It was funny because I sent out some packages, and they were going to kind of, you know, generally the same area, but one was going much faster than the other. Very, very interesting to
Well,
me.
you know, when the Pony Express was delivering mail, it depended on how fast the pony was.
Yeah.
And how many, urination stops the rider had to make.
Ponies don't pee on the go.
The rider doesn't. Yeah, okay. That's a little bit, just something to
More
think,
information.
think about there, you know? Often. Yeah, well, if they were geriatric, it would have been a lot more often. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this business with shading because I think, you know, what really makes it work. What?
Oh. Hopefully you don't have a postman with a prostate
I wish
problem.
he would just leave this one alone, but she won't. Uh-huh.
Oh, this. Oh no, she signed it. It's done.
Yeah.
Y'all see? Now we need
Oh,
to
I
put
thought
it.
you were talking about the Pony Express. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. I'm only this. I signed off all of them. It's a 3. I usually do things in 3.
Thanks, Johnny John.
What?
Johnny John says this is the educational content we come here for. That's right.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
it's a hodgepodge. We're a potpourri
We
of
are.
knowledge.
All right. Now what I'm going to refer to here and talk to you about this. This color. Oh, this is peacock green. Okay, I love peacock green. Here, let me just give you a little example of peacock green. It has just that right amount of kind of tealy blue to it. I love this color. I use it a lot, and it's really great for shadows because, excuse me, sharpening. When you use it over, you go over the top of that peacock with this, you get a really nice gray medium value shadow. Now you can use, of course, indigo. That's not indigo. Oh, this is another one I like for shadows. This is black cherry. It's a really nice one. Really nice one.
Mm-hmm.
And see, and you can use the green over the top of that because it has ever so small amount of red in it.
What was the red?
Oh, the red was rouge.
But your favorite
Crimson red.
Your favorite red is that. Is it that one or is it
Tuscan.
Tuscan? There we go. That's
Now
what she likes to talk
I
about a
like
lot.
Crimson Lake too.
But see that one, that Tuscan, the reason you like that purple is because it sort of hits in that range.
It does. Now here we go. Here's Tuscan. Okay, it's a purplish brownish.
See, it's in between that. What
but,
she just had there.
You know, here
Okay.
And you can just wherever you use that, it's going to be good.
Prismacolor.
Prismacolor, yeah. And I like Prismacolors. I have used other pencils, and I just don't like them so much. All right, so what I want to talk about here is a sharply delineated line, and then a gradual shaded line, or an edge. And when you have that edge, and I would point out to this right here. Okay, so what I did is I lightened it up on the top part, and then the only color on it is gradually faded out there at the bottom. But now here along this edge, this kind of line. But when you do it, if you hold your pencil back like this, and you let the pencil drag along, but then you push down, you get that nice line variety that gives you a semblance of, you know, a real curve, like here. I apologize, my allergies are just killing me today.
Darcy says, does she see a little snail on the top of that rock?
Oh, it could be a little snail. It could be, you know, a little tiny pebble that is just sitting in that little indentation there. It could be a knobby thing on the rock.
A knob.
You know, it could just be so many things. So I think that that's important, to be suggestive rather than absolute. And when I'm looking, and I watched Kylie Ku's video yesterday, and I would thoroughly, if you have not seen it, go and watch it. It's wonderful. It's relaxing. It will take.
It's her latest vlog style video.
It's like meditative. It's, you know, going in and doing deep relaxation. Her voice is so hypnotic and wonderful, and her little the music that she uses, it reinforces all of those qualities. So please go and watch it because it's worthy. When she gets to her little book, then she starts working on it. And she's talking, and she has this brush. I have a couple brushes that look just like the one that she's got. Most of them are kind of relegated over there. I'm going to go find that one that's, you know, practically, it doesn't, the bristles don't move much about the cabin on it anymore because it's solidified. But she really did pointed out some things when she puts her gesso on with that brush. It does different things than, you know, a flexible brush would do. So drag out your brushes and watch how she does that.
Kylie Ku's video.
Yeah. And I also watched Paula's video on her
in
journal.
Makers. You have to be a part of Makers to see that. That's
And I mean, it's spot on. I thought the cover was just clever as it could be, and really kind of made me think about some things to do with our Halloween.
nice. So we're
So,
talk about that a little bit.
And that's what all of this is about, is the whole idea of, you know, what I see in someone else's work isn't necessarily what I'm going to do exactly, but it sparks something.
Yeah.
And it makes you think about something. You know, I don't always
Deborah.
remember
Welcome.
it, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so this is done. Now I want to talk about signature. You know, I feel very strongly about
Raise it up into the technology. Let us
sorry.
really oogle.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Is it in the right place?
Well, you're gonna have to get if you want to show the signature, you need to bring it. There you go. Perfect.
Okay. And you have to realize I've spent hours and hours, actually days.
This is all she's been working on.
Yeah. Since we started this.
She didn't want to clean.
No. That's
She wanted.
you know, when I can't do anything else. All right, so signature. Your signature should be done in a material that you have used in your artwork. And obviously I've used colored pencils. This is, no, this is not. I think this is either the Kansas, this may be some of the watercolor paper that I brought from Baltimore. And it's wonderful. It's actually a lot easier to sign your name with this than, let me bring this other one up. Because this one is done with the Arches paper.
That's the one that she threw everything at.
Yes.
Can you believe it?
And I used a, I don't know, it's kind of a, yeah, this one I think. I don't think your signature shouldn't be the first thing that people see when they look at your artwork. They should have to come much closer to see who did it. So that accomplishes two things. They look at it longer when they're trying to find the signature on it. All right, now how is this different? Well, I want to point this out. You see these little white spots? Those were not intentional. That's what flaked off from this crayon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
interesting.
don't hate it. You know,
No, it's like some of this weird speckledy stuff or little
weird
shimmery things in the
stuff
water.
in the water floating around, you know, organic material.
Yeah. Seems legit.
You know, plankton, whatever, you know, whales eat.
There's more than one.
Yeah. All right, now I want to talk about defining your object using negative space. Because artists talk about that all the time. That's really getting on my very last nerve there. Okay, so you remember this corner up here. I don't know if you remember this corner. It's worth going back and looking at, because remember, this is the one that I just threw a bunch of stuff on.
Yeah, they were talking about them.
This was the runny one. It took 2 days to dry, so I could even get in there to do anything else.
Thank goodness she had the
Everything up here is defined by using a wash to get the object, then coming in with the colored pencil and really kind of emphasizing. And you can see, I want to bring this up to the camera because I've actually, you can see the texture of the paper by how it took the pencil. And then I love this little guy down here because that was totally defined using negative space and a wash around it. But it's really smooth because I didn't do any pencil on top of it.
They like this one a lot.
I think this is probably my favorite one. All right, now I want to point this out because I think this is, I hate to toot my own horn here, but this is a really brilliant edge here. Okay, so here's your edge.
I hate to do it, but you know.
Yeah, I'm going anyway. So I established that with, and I don't know that it was this color necessarily. And then that's the dark. Okay, that's the dark that's there. Then the next one coming out is slightly, and I'm not going to do the whole thing, but when you do your shading, Don't be afraid to use more than one pencil. It's not just coming back in and going over the same area. Use some different colors because that's what really brings that sharpen.
Well, it's much like, you know, even when we talk about gel printing. The reason that some of those prints that are utilizing multiple transparent layers create more interesting prints. This applies to pretty much every type of media.
And you just keep, and you're not pushing on that because remember, once you get a waxy glaze, and I will show you what I had to do on one here. I don't know if it is this one. Yeah. All right. See this dude right here?
Yeah, she doesn't ever do this long pencil work. I mean, maybe one of these days I will just set up a camera and you can, this would be like a fast forward kind of, because it's just, you just keep coming at it.
Just keep coming at it.
Different colors.
Different colors. And here, we'll just go ahead. I know I've signed it, but the reason I put them under glass is so that I don't do this. Because I go downstairs and I've got some on the stairs and I'm going, man, I need to work on that.
Well, I told her we need to frame these three. Maybe we switch the stuff out on the stairs a little bit with these. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a couple in.
Well, what we need to do is we need to go and we need to find some new frames. Just brighten this up ever so slightly. Nothing major.
But yeah, she just sits there and watches, you know, whatever she's watching. And then...
Oh, I'll tell you what I watched. And because I started thinking about this, because if you look at the dark lines around these, and remember how I started out. I don't know if any of you know who Alice Neel is, but you need to look it up, and it's Neel. And she, I can't remember exactly. She's no longer with us. She passed on, but wonderful portrait artist, and she doesn't even call them. She says I do people paintings, because she thinks that the whole idea of portraits, you know, you feel like that should be something that's this stodgy portrait that you have in the hall
of some relative
of great grandpa, whatever, you know, and he's sitting there and he looks like he's been starched and ironed.
Yeah.
But that's not the kind of portraits she does. And in fact, she does a lot of totally nude portraits. And she tells this funny story about, and I don't know these people, but they came in as a couple who wanted their portraits taken. And she said, you know, I just told him, I said, I'm just not feeling this. Could you take off your jacket? Well, she finally got them down. They were naked. Or she painted them. So they were so, and she says, oh my goodness, you know, she said she just has such a little squished up face, but she had a beautiful dimpled body. And
I want people to describe me as that.
Isn't that true? Yeah.
A beautiful dimpled body.
Anyway, she is just, I mean, she's a hoot anyway. She says things that are just,
well,
and she's led quite the life. Anyway, this stuff is addictive. Once you get into the shading business, I can remember my junior high kids. Once they got the idea of what you were doing here, they felt powerful, and you could see it. So, just that little bit there, bring it out, and then you know you need to bring in your highlight color. You can tell I use this one a lot. It's dull. Well, it's not entirely true. Izzy likes that color too. And then, you know, bring those highlights in. And if you do really, and it also helps smooth, but you don't want to get too carried away with that. Because if you do, you're going to wax over. There's a term for that, but I just can't remember what it is right now.
We're just going to call it waxed over?
Waxed over is when it gets so that you can't add anything else because it's solid. There's not any paper there to grip anymore. And the very last thing that you want to do is come in with your white. And you want to decide where you want it to be the lightest. And that white is going to help you
blend it. Devin says wax bloom.
Wax bloom, thank you. Yes, that's what it's called, bloom. And anyway, I hope that's helpful.
Was that helpful?
And, you know, practice that. That's all I can say. Okay, put that over there. And this is what I end up right here. And I always have a handful of pencils that are, you know,
I do that with the markers.
Rolling along. I'm really, you know, I'm really...
Oh, yeah. Kathleen. Hello, Kathleen. She says, I've been watching some of her interviews. She was quite the character and wonderfully talented artist.
Oh, yeah. I mean, her stuff is just... Okay, I don't know why this isn't... Okay, I'm just going to leave it.
Great lesson.
Now, this is the last one. And remember, this was the big brown rock. Y'all remember that? And this is
Oh, well, technically, this was the very first one you started.
It was the very first one, but it was the last one.
We lost the footage of that big brown rock being, you know, made. Because that was the beginning.
And here's my signature down here. I did it in white. In a lot of ways, this was not my favorite to start off with. But I love it now. And
I'll be right back.
If I have one space that I absolutely would, you know, cut out and save is this up here, this rock up here. This is where I really want to go with my watercolors. I want it to be slightly looser, more suggestive rather than, you know, concrete, whatever. But part of what I was thinking about when I was doing this, and the reason I brought Alice Neal up, is she does this when she contours like a leg or a breast or an ankle. She does this kind of halo-y thing with it, and the different values to establish that. And it makes me think about, when I look at the bodies, it makes me think about shadows and streams, which is, I guess that's kind of weird, but yeah, whatever. So, had a problem up here, and, you know, well, couple. So I lost my white here, and I had to come in with my X-Acto knife and scratch in. But you can do that on good watercolor paper. Now, the only thing is, once you do that, you've really sort of, it's hard to come back in with your watercolor. Yeah. And of course with your pencils, because you've roughed up the surface there. But I think that works quite nicely. That is a technique.
Hold that up. I mean, you can see the dottiness of it, but... And waxing over means when you have used way too much of the colored pencil and it just slicks over. And it really doesn't start it won't take anymore.
Yeah, it just won't. And here you can see when I was talking about one side is...
Very nice. Thank you, Darcy.
Is you have the white on it, and then you have the gradation within that shadow that indicates depth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rocks are her jam. I mean,
they are. And I don't necessarily get all caught up into the actual color of the rocks that I have, but more of taking the texture of the rocks that I have and bringing them alive with. Because this is how I feel about rocks.
This is the aura of the rocks.
This is the aura of the rocks. I mean, I love rocks. I think rocks rock. Yeah. And I think you can see that. And I think when you have that deep emotional attachment to your subject matter, and that's kind of how I feel that Alice Neal did, because she said every single person she painted, it was like starting over. That was that person. She could take her techniques and her whatever, but how she approached looking at them had to be different because they were different. And for God's sake, she painted Andy Warhol. And I mean, it was just amazing. Yeah. Check her out and really, you know.
Alice Neal.
Alice Neal, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, I'm sort of like done with rocks for a while. I think.
She has fed her.
That's how I do it. I just go until I'm done. I'm ready to use, though, what I really kind of reconnected with in the watercolor scene, because I don't do, I watercolor, and this is really strange. After I oil painted, I approached watercolors differently. And I love that rich, saturated color. And I think before I oil painted, my watercolors were kind of pale and anemic. And now I'm not afraid to jump in there with, you know, a bold, brilliant turquoise, a dark red here. And because I know that I can change that if I need to. And here, I was going to talk about this because, so I took it down before I took the tape off because I knew it wasn't done, and I didn't like this corner up here. I wanted to have these two corners have something in common, but I went overboard. So I took it downstairs and I told Mariah, I said, okay, I want you just to look at this and tell me what are your real feelings on this?
First of all, she brings it to me while I'm in the midst of, you know, dealing with a very needy kid yesterday. I don't know what was going on with her, but I don't know. Her belly hurt. She had 2 glasses of kombucha. I think that her system was like, well, what the hell is this? It's just the basic way to put it. Anyway.
So coupled with large amounts of cantaloupe.
Yeah. She was moving things through. Anyway, so she comes and she holds this up to me and she's like, and I knew that I had not given her what she wanted as far as the thing was concerned, but I was like, I'm feeding this kid because she's being grumpy. And I'm dealing with that first. Now I will look at it and, you know, had Izzy parked on the couch and little Miss Grumpy Pants number 2 over here sitting next to her. And I, you know, then went through it. Now you can talk about how wonderful and insightful your daughter has become.
Okay, so I said, all right, what I need from you is I just need you to tell me what you see and what you think I should do, or what should happen here. Well, you can see it here. This color here is what the whole little rock here was. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Whole little rock was that color. So it was like almost the same as this. And I wanted that because I wanted to repeat that, whatever. And this had way more yellow, higher chroma there. And trying to match it up with this side, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happened here was because that was so light, it was taking you off the page. It was making you focus on that rock. So I did 2 things. I put in a dark shadow. I put it in an orange wash over the light color here. And then I did this shadow here. And then I did this shadow over here and muted that back somewhat. Then I came in and added a little blob, and you can tell it because you can see the bloom around the watercolor.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that's okay because I've got it over here.
Mm-hmm.
Use those blooms. You know, I think that they're wonderful, textural, whatever. But just know that if it's dry and you come in and you put wet on, it's going to do that haloing effect. And use that to your
Kelly.
best, to your knowledge. I mean, add it to your repertoire of what I can do and what I can't do.
But, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Is there anything else that I want to talk about for that?
Totally, Paula. Totally. Especially yesterday.
Okay. Pebbles. Love pebbles. All right, let's get these put away so I don't have rolly around things here.
Yes.
All right. So, I think it's important to always...
It didn't want to go there.
It doesn't want to go there. I don't know why.
You keep trying.
I think maybe I'll just put those over there. They're kind of purpley red anyway.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get rid of these because we're not going to use colored pencils here for a while. And they'll poke me and whatnot.
Yes.
All right. Well, we got to do a little bit of... Anytime a space is reappropriated for something else for any length of time, requires a little bit of...
Yeah. And what happens is if she has left that space, like you think, oh, she cleaned something off. No, it just means usually that something has been moved around, but then something will start filling that space. Open flat surfaces are not something that
No.
last long.
Okay. All right.
Well, you're in the right place, Kelly.
All right, we're going to revisit what we've done as a way of kind of maybe, I don't know. I just like to do this because I think it helps you get ideas on what you want to go forward and do when you look back.
Okay, so here's 2021. Coming through the past.
Coming through the past, dragging our...
I know, I didn't tie it up because I was like, well, we're going to open it up anyway.
Yeah. And,
because we haven't decided what type of book necessarily.
I
think we should just kind of start at it like we did with that one, which was make pages. And then decide which pages sort of go together.
And that really is, that's how we did it. And,
yeah.
And the whole thing with the frames, and I don't know that we want to do that again, but that's always an option.
I'm a nay on the frames.
Yeah,
Frames stressed me
They
out.
were brutal.
Well, here's something to talk about with the frames. So if you're like, whoa, that's really cool. Yeah. So
Let me get
you
another
have
one.
to think about with these frames that how are you attaching the book together, and really best done prior to putting down the frame. But that's not how we built the book.
That's not how we did it. But that was a learning experience. But I also think it's like it lets you realize, okay, it doesn't. I don't have. I've got some skills here that I can employ.
Yes.
When this doesn't work, because that's what Mariah had to do. She had to come in and add this piece.
Now some of them
were okay.
Well, yeah, because some of them we knew or were at a later time, so it was done that way. Yeah, that's that tape that P had made based on, what's her name? The Paper Outpost chick, I think, is who did it. Or
It was one of those book people.
Nick the Booksmith.
Yes.
She did the grungy tape thing. And we're like, oh, that's pretty cool. We're going to do that.
Yes. And everything in here was a reaction to what was needed. Okay? So you start off with your whatever. This envelope that is here dates back to alcohol, ink, and brushos. And this is Mr. Huey. Oh, I love Mr. Huey so
Navy.
much. And then these are some of my eraser stamps. And anyway,
yeah, it should come off of there. Magnets. Because we're like, it's
and
too pretty on that.
Look at, see this? Just barely suggestive.
Oh, well, that was... So I still have this want. We just aren't there yet because it's going to require us ordering a ton of them. But we'll get there someday. We'll get there. But I love those rub-ons. And I noticed that Tapology company, and it was really interesting. I even thought about reaching out to her, but because she lived in China and then she lived in Singapore for a while, but so she had this great connection to those rub-ons and like where to get them made. But you can buy this one stuff that you can print on the inkjet. Now it's sort of like it doesn't work exactly as a rub-on would, but still very tricky to use. I attempted. And then I was like, no, this doesn't make sense on a larger scale to make it happen here. It needs to be manufactured.
This is brushes.
Yes.
Tell because it's that blue. And then I just went through and found little pictures and printed them off. And wrote little, cute little fact things. You know I love that kind of stuff. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful?
Mm-hmm.
See that cross there? That's exactly how that happened. Too long ago, but look at that edge. I mean, isn't that marvelous? I haven't even thought about that for a while.
This
But
is
I think this is not
2021
coffee.
Halloween.
This is done with with ink and acrylic.
Hello, Christina.
And then here's another little, these get smashed together and they don't come apart so well. Okay, look at that edge. Okay,
Well,
tell you who done that. That wasn't me. Title, The Triumph of Death.
I was
Death
instructed
by
what she wanted.
Francisco Terrani, 1350, a fresco in the Camposanto Monumento, Pisa, Italy.
Now, once you see this thing online, it's
Yeah,
no two are really the same, and I would be very interested to see what it really looks like in real life, because all photographs of it look different.
every single one of them. And we just picked that one because it was kind of in the wheelhouse of what we wanted as far as color was concerned. And then here's a
Hi,
map.
guys.
Here's a map of how Black Death moved across from here and down into Italy. And I think everything that you do should have some sort of learning factor to it, other than just. And look, I think that
And
this is
Lisa, Sirius Hecka, sent us so many cool things. She had quite the stash of awesome.
got to use
I mean,
this.
we didn't even use and I was thinking about that. I was like, man, we need to find.
I saw that the other day.
I think.
No, I think it was over there and some
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, we moved it.
Okay, now this, I don't know if you'll be able to, this is from the the abstracted spider stencil,
The one I made.
which I love it. And it's braille-y.
So we have two different, we have Walter's web, and then we have the abstract web in the shop.
Okay. So I had to attach this because everything kept falling
Puking
out.
Oh,
Puking out.
of course you did. That's
What?
funny. Just like, yeah, I'm just going to wrap it all the way around.
Yeah, well, that's what I did because it kept puking out. But this is some more stuff that Lisa sent, and this is our.
Yeah, so this is just like, crafty, fun, scrapbooky paper. But then, we put the PM, well, she definitely put the PM twist on it.
Put some paper around and stamped. What do we call this guy?
Well, he's the zombie.
Oh, he's a zombie. Yeah. And then wrote about voodoo on the back, which is from Merriam-Webster. And then this little thing here, this is kind of fun because I don't even remember what some of this stuff is. Oh yeah, here's a whole, a jack-o'-lantern. The whole idea, of how that came about. I thought that was neat. Look at that cool washi tape.
Yeah, now that's some of that washi tape that has like the peel back, which storage-wise is insanity because it doesn't say like together.
And this little dude comes out like this. And I'll tell you what, Paula did some really cool little pockety.
Yeah, she's very clever with her pockets, flips, and such. It's because you don't know how it works. This is the problem.
There we go.
Because I built the
Jam
construction.
that sucker in there. Oh, look at that. Our little witch. Double, double, toil and trouble.
From Trish.
From Trish. But see, isn't that perfect there? All right, now here we
I
can't.
asked her if she wanted to wear the witch outfit again, and she said no. And I'm
What did
like,
she want to do?
I really want her to wear it again because it was pricey, little booger.
Yeah.
Hey, we could cut it up and
I don't,
turn it into something. I don't
Oh,
know.
she might change her mind. She does. But these are all from Trish and
Evie.
Evie. I just think they're so much fun.
But they were perfect for the book.
Yeah, there's our little witch again. And then, okay, this little thing here is just from a piece of that stuff that came as a rug, the chindi rug that I took apart. But I want you to look at this paper clip here.
That's when we made those. Yeah.
Fancy paper clips. And the cutout cat.
Did we do that on a video, or did we just talk about those?
I don't know, but it works on both sides. It's kind of
think we
chipping
did.
off a little bit, I
Yeah.
noticed.
It does.
But that doesn't bother me necessarily. I think this is wonderful. Can you see the texture? And I want you to look at that patina.
We are definitely ready for fall too, Jolly John.
Oh my God,
It's so
I'm
darn
just,
hot. I'm over it.
I'm so done with summer. And this is Cats and Witches, A Magical History. It talks all about, you know, what the deal is there.
With her tombstone-y looking.
My tombstone-y looking little card things.
So this is a really, what was funny is, so Lisa had sent us a lot of this stuff, and we're like, we're not used to using more of this, you know, kind of more crafty, scrapbooky stuff.
Ooh.
But it was a great challenge on mixing our style, making it more arty. And, you know, P drew on that. Glued down a cat.
Glued down a cat and a frame.
Put a little spider.
But I want you to look at that lovely texture, because, see, this is the other side of the
Well,
paper.
hold it up into the technology. So gel print those, you know, those scrapbook papers you've been saving up and just can't bring yourself to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this in here is, oh, it talks about the stigma against cats.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it came apart, but maybe it doesn't. Yeah, it does.
This is like
I
if
want
I'm
you to
remembering correctly.
Yeah, look at this, okay? This is my faux coffee dyed paper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very proud of it. Because I don't have the means to, and I think it's a lot of that, what do you call that? Stamp pad stuff.
Yeah.
Swishy stuff. The stigma against cats, especially black cats, was real. And it accompanied the witch hunts of early modern Europe. From the 15th to the 18th century, countless women accused of witchcraft were killed. One could be accused of witchcraft just for owning a cat. Okay, now are you getting this? Because can you see a causation relationship between killing off the cats and the Black
rats.
Death?
Yes.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, witches were believed to shapeshift into cats in order to kill babies or children, or to ride cats through the night to their Sabbat gatherings. Cats were killed along with witches. They were burned and thrown from towers. Black cats were especially feared. And I can even remember my grandmother. So this is how long these superstitious BS, you know, if you don't know the real deal, said, you know, be careful with the baby. Don't let the cat sit on his chest. And this is in, you know, the 1970s.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, both cats and witches embody the archetype of the divine feminine. Well, we know why. Yeah. They occupy the moonlit spaces where intuition leads the way and nimble, stealthy movements prevail over masculine aggression.
Mm.
Let us witches honor our feline counterparts who have historically been revered and demonized for our spiritual powers and ironclad independence. Okay. I thought that was cool, and then I used one of our little washers, a little piece of lace here, which
I think we even had to make some new washers because we couldn't find the ones that we did have. And a lot of them have been used up. Some of them we've even sent out.
yeah,
We love the washers.
we love us. Here's some more.
I think that one is glued down, but it folds out.
Oh no, it doesn't. It's glued down, and this
Yeah.
pulls out.
Yeah.
Duh. Okay. A little piece of paper here that I was going to write something on about serpents. Oh, I actually did. Yeah.
Look at that. I followed through.
But this one doesn't have, this is the little, because, you know, this is how I approach life, as an afterthought. Okay, how am I going to get that little thing? Well, it was too deep, and it got in there, and you couldn't get it out. So I had to have a little,
catch.
had to have a little bit
Catch and pull. It's a catch and pull.
It's a catch and pull, yeah.
Y'all get it?
Yeah.
Hello,
Okay,
Dawn.
according to Hebrew, and I hope y'all are enjoying this.
Are y'all enjoying this? If you are, and those of you that are coming in, do give those thumbsy upsies. Say hello in the chat, and we'll say hello back. All that business.
It would have been a terrible time to live in.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Number one, I also just want to know what did it smell like back then?
Oh yeah,
Just-
yeah. According to Hebrew folklore, Lilith, notorious for being banished from the Garden of Eden for refusing to be subservient to Adam, shapeshifts into a black vampire cat named El Brusha, preying on newborn babies, cats and witches by Faye Skeller RDS. Here, I'm going to put that up there because I'm absolutely. She was instrumental in a lot of my other She wrote some good stuff. Okay, put your little hoodie do back in there. It just goes in just like that. I mean, you know, now come on. I think that's kind of clever. Then this is a little catch-all down here, which I glued it down a little too aggressively.
He was awesome.
Or Mariah, I think she ended up putting tape down.
Well, no, that was the original thing. Is so because I didn't want it to glue, because I didn't want it to, like, you know, get all gluey looking. So I did the double stick tape, but it does sort of stretch and move.
Yeah.
So then this one, you know, decided to bring in the purple tie down, helping on both sides of the.
Hey, you know, I think fair game. Anything you do. Oh yeah, and this was.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's some gears.
And those were actual gears.
Actual gears.
I can't remember
and
exactly.
And then this.
How this thing
Flops up.
Yeah.
And then this opens.
It should. Out the other way. There. Yeah. No. Yeah. There you go. Pa-pa!
Ta-da! And then we have a little witch.
And a kitty.
And a kitty.
Those are from ours. Spooky characters. Those are also available.
But this is some stuff that Lisa had sent to us. And look at that wonderful texture on that.
See, in the Yupo, when it gets all, like, when it's just too beautiful and you have to glue it down, it's fantastic for these sorts of things because it's sort of stretchy, but yet, you know, holds into place.
And this stuff really sticks together. Oh, I think this page is really beautiful. I spent a lot of time working on that.
And that stencil butter over there, that's the blue.
And this is the abstract stencil over
and watercolor.
A card.
And watercolor on that page.
Oh, yeah, because of the
shiny business.
Shiny business down in the things. Okay, this is one of those pages that I worked forever on because compositionally it just wasn't happening.
Compositionally, this wasn't.
Yeah, compositionally it was.
She got a little frustrated. I think I took over, and then she said, I need the gear things to be here, here, here. And I'm like, well, you could just tear them apart, you know. She's like, and remember that? And you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's all glued down. But this isn't.
No, that actually belongs over on the other page. There.
There we go. But look at that wonderful piece of.
So that's texture paste, light and fluffy, and then gel printed.
And then some inky stuff.
And that is the arty squiggles.
Yes. And just torn out and glued down. And here's one of our washers.
And I think that's an OG washer. An original.
I think it is too. And then this is, I don't know. It's one of the things Christy sent us. One of those.
Oh yeah, it's an
winders.
embossing. Yeah, it's an embossing folder, and it went perfectly with everything.
But look at that. So you have wonderful.
Want to cover that up?
Oh, sorry. Wonderful, and this is the frame.
And that is the swirly. What is that one? Swirly swirls. And if you want to hear somebody say it really beautifully, Kali Koo says it like in a most magical way. She has a video.
She does.
We used to send her things purposefully so she would say it.
Ah, I love it. All right, another. This frame was one that, and you can see a little bit of the original pattern of it. I don't know what it was, but anyway, I just gel plated over the top, and you can see a little. You can see the eyes here and the nose.
Kind of a spirit face.
Spirit face. That you had to really work at it.
Colored pencil.
Colored pencil.
Over
and
gel
this
print.
is just kind of, okay, this was torn off of the rest of this, so it logically went over here. And you can see this has been glued on top of something underneath it. I'm not sure exactly how that worked out, but yeah.
I don't know who Walter is, Darcy.
Walter?
The Walter's Web.
Oh, yeah. It was just, yeah.
Most of the one that's in here is the abstract web.
Yeah, I really like it a lot.
Because I don't know that Walter's Web had come out at this point.
Oh, I don't know either. I need to find Walter.
Yeah.
Okay.
because I didn't want to make a web, because I was like, you know, there are already webs out there. And then Brad was like, well, we need to have our own web. So that's how Walter's web came around. And we were just into naming things with, you know, 2 names and started with the same letter.
Isn't that great? Oh, and I just love the little fluffy bits here. And it just went so well here
one.
with these little lizard's leg and howlet's wing. Those little, that's how it should be. I don't know why I had it the other way. But this is an actual toe tag put on dead people at the morgue.
Lisa sent it to us.
And Lisa sent that to us. Then I just took this little thing and added to it.
Oh, here,
this is actually, oh, this is my string thing that started off. Oh, this is the insides of the cutouts of one of the stencils. And I just glued them together and glued them down there.
So it's actually, the funny thing is it's a set. You can get the web by itself, the abstract web, and then El Diablo, a happy devil, aka Horny Man, if you want to know.
And y'all know who did this. And the word tantra actually means thread in Tibetan, which suggests continuous awareness. But see, can you see the background here? That's that little skeleton.
Hello, Patty.
It's just really hard to lift this up.
It's heavy.
That's one of the papers that Lisa sent.
That's my string work. I don't know if she said that or not while I was working.
But this just happened. This was one of those...
well, did you tell him sort of...
Squish.
Well, remember, because you were trying that technique that you sort of picked up over from Robin McClendon, where she was using that spray stuff.
Oh, yes, that is exactly the truth. But look at that. Isn't that great? And that just happened. That was happenstance. Then I cut it out and then I glued it down, of course. X's from Texas.
Is that,
There's Horny Man.
Do those X's have the beads in it? Or are they just...
I think they're just that.
Just the
black...
Black gesso?
Black gesso. Or the black...
I don't think it's dark enough to be the texture paste stuff. Like, that's darker than... Because the black texture paste...
I don't really know what that is. It's been so long.
Isn't that dark.
But what this may be is when I mixed the Stuart Simple black with...
And we called it the 4.0 or something because you mixed about 3 or 4 different things.
And I think it's since dried up. But. Okay, you can see Horny Man over here. And I didn't want him to be like, you know, boom! So I just put some other things around there. Kind of collage-y bits. Collage-y bits. I'm very, very proud of this page.
She had a vision and I had to follow it.
It just, you know, it was one of those things that just... And here's this little, you know, tuck thing that drags them out.
Well, but also it had to be the right size and you wouldn't let me get rid of anything.
No, that's right.
That's right.
And isn't that great?
Hey, and that...
A Horny Man on the backside.
Hold the little eye up into the camera. You can really see it once it's, like, there. But what it was is it was actually stenciled onto tissue paper. And then I glued it down to the red paper that has been embossed. And then used, I think, alcohol ink marker to match pretty decently.
I don't know, but I thought she did this because I was really irked that she'd messed it up. And
she was. She was like,
right.
ah! I was like,
but look at those flames up there. Isn't that just, here, see those flames?
Let me tell you, some of this stuff is quite dangerous because you don't want to just, like, rub your hand across it.
All right, so this is... This is, in my opinion, this is my actual writing. Death and the devil go hand in hand. Early on, there was no need of a devil because the Almighty dispensed both good and evil at whim. The idea, a devil, evil, as being only bad guy, appeared on the scene when a more benevolent deity was required. The devil is also associated with witchcraft, witches, hence the phrase possessed by the devil. So that's all. That's this page. And it just came about because all of these colors just, you know, I mean, it was there.
It was.
It was.
There.
Now this is with the glass.
So I think... Does it glow? I feel like it glows. Didn't we put something on it that...
This is the things that you put on the curve.
We're right, but I think we even put something behind it that glows. I'm pretty sure it glows.
I don't know if it does or not.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
That's there.
And that there page right there is the one that
And this
took a little toll on my chopper because it has the glass beads in it. So, warning. Warning.
Yeah. Do your cutting prior to chomping.
Yeah.
And plus those little boogers get all over the
And it
place.
makes a horrendous noise that you know things aren't right.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, nails on a chalkboard. But it looks fabulous.
But this is cool because this just happened. Can you see this kind of face with the little horn right here? And
That's
there's
the
an
Medusa
eye?
piece of the string thing.
Yeah.
The big one. We call it Medusa because it comes in 2 pieces.
And then I worked a lot on this. And look at the wonderful texture of that.
Also, look at how I faded in because this was an afterthought. And then making that connection into the book.
And you see the edge of that? It's
And
really beautiful.
keeping as much of it working because there was much discussion about how to make all that happen.
Okay.
And doing it right.
So this frame over here had many lives. I remember struggling with the colors on this.
Pieces came off.
And
pieces went on.
and whatnot. And then these little frames, they had to be double.
Yeah, I think if you probably even looked back at like when we said that the book was done, I think things have even altered since then.
They have then. They have.
Yeah, but those come out, the little frame.
Yeah, they come out.
Those were a mixture of watercolor, and some of like the Derwent and the Faber-Castell, like the
Color pencils.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that
are water soluble.
are water soluble. And we've shown this one before, but
Yeah.
that one kind of goes in there. They get a little wonky just from, you know, turning the page, whatever. But yeah, that took a lot because the other side had to be, and you can see there's these little additions here.
Mm-hmm. Worked in.
Worked in. Yeah. As an afterthought. Just pretty paper.
But she loved it so much she signed it.
I did.
See that? She's very proud of that.
I was very proud of this. And I don't know exactly why now.
Mappy wall printy, you know.
Mappy wall printing, yeah. Okay, this is really a nice.
Let's see if she remembers how it works. There you go. I think that one even.
And see, this is very cool because this is fabric, Mariah.
Yes, because
From the bendy.
I didn't
or
want to
the
mess.
chindi.
Yeah, I didn't want to mess up any part of the background there because it was like, oh, do you see the pyramid? And then, this is when the eye came about because we're like, ooh, that's really cool. Or no, we made it smaller because it was already in because the eye is in the set.
Yes, the eye is in the Halloween set.
I don't know where the little scarab beetle kind of thing came from, or if you just drew that on. I can't remember.
I just drew it,
Yeah.
and you did the
Oh, that's right.
heat gun thing.
And then those are more of the gears.
But yeah, that patina, isn't that wonderful? I think this page is really elegant. And then this is some more of the circle with
Yeah, and once again, we couldn't
Walter's
lose
wax.
any bit of that, so it had to be a little fold-in, which she finally, gave the okay on.
Yeah, this is the last page for reasons because I held out.
It's not the last page. But it's one of the last ones.
Okay, I see this like this. Okay, here's the...
Aren't those cool? That was some more stuff that Lisa had sent us.
And so it's like both sides because the other web is over here.
And show them the spider that's... And what's really cool is so the glass beads, because we mixed it in with what? I think just impasto.
Yes.
So what was really interesting, because between whatever was done to the page, it sucked that color up. It was not like that when we put it, like we didn't put any color or anything. Remember that?
Yeah.
So it's so cool that it happened like that. And it looks like it's stitched.
Yeah.
We just used the, so we have that mini, what's it called? The Zutter. And that's why there's 2 sections. I mean, I could have made it all like one and whatever, but it's a lot easier just to do chunk rather than trying to line things up, because that's just how we operate.
And here again is Mariah's wonderful work on the splicing this in so that we could use this page here, because it was too short. And we were a little concerned about the binding thing. And again, this is the abstract web.
But see how it pulls the color up through?
Yeah.
I just thought that was really cool, and probably could never be, you know.
Yeah. And I don't even know really. It's just some chalk paint. And there's our little
mad
scientist there. And she actually
before
made
she chopped her
this. This was right. But look at her in those little pictures.
She's so little.
And then over here, I'm not sure exactly. This is a flop off.
Yeah, it was.
And then Izzy made these stars.
And the stars in the background.
And the stars in the background.
And then we had a piece of frame left over, and
just use that.
Kind of went wonky with it.
And then here's another pencil.
Wispy. And she lost the pencil work. I can't remember when I found it, or it did something
It
weird.
had, oh yeah, because this was the other thing, is making the opposite page match up. Because when you start doing that page by page, look at that wonderful print on the page.
And I finally told her, I was like, you've got to make a decision on how these pages go together. So, because they're just laying around, and we kept moving them around. And then it kept changing. And I'm like, it needs to go. It needs to be bound.
And then knowing which side you wanted to punch your holes on, because that was some other things that happened in there, why that we had to use, is because you punched the wrong side. Remember that? I remember that. But anyway, that's the comprehensive, and this really, the reason we need to get started on this right away is because this represents probably 2 or 3 months worth of.
Oh, the sound in the background is Josh scraping mats, because it's, you know.
And look at this ribbon in this. This is from Judy P.
Yeah.
And I've always said I was going to sign it for her.
Well, she sent us a signature, and you were supposed to glue it on there.
Well, I don't know what happened to that. We'll do a double bow here.
Yes.
There, perfect.
Wonderful. And some of this stuff is quite dangerous, like I said. You're going to watch rubbing your hands.
So basically what we're thinking about doing here, Patty says, I hear it too, Patricia. Sounds like sweeping.
Yes.
It's scraping.
Yeah.
That skull looks scary happy, I know. Yeah. That's our scraper.
So now I was trying to think, did this actually happen at the same time? We need to look at the date on. Did we date the box?
No, this was
next year.
This was the following year, because we wouldn't have done 2. But look at that box. I spent hours doing this, covering this box. It's not as spiffy as some that I've seen people do. I'm knocking stuff over here. Okay, and here's a little spider on the inside.
Because this was last year's Spooky Scrolls was our October for the Creative Collab.
Now I'm going to try to get them all out here. So, mess that one up. Because you have to see them in their entirety. It's really important.
Devin said this was the first video she watched of ours, was the Spooky Scrolls.
Oh, seriously?
Why do you have them all upside down? I hate it when you do that.
Okay, well, all right, I'm going to move this out of the way.
Yeah.
But inside you can see the box has been painted with black gesso. That was painful. Painful, painful. Okay. And Mariah has, I mean, she did this in color. I'm just winging it here.
You're doing good.
Whoops.
Look at her go.
Just create this little cute little thing. And then, of course, and I mean literally, Mariah spent hours on this.
Days.
Days. Hours. Hours on each little technique here. Uh-oh.
No, they come off.
They come off?
They're magnet. Yeah. They're magnetic. Because I wanted you to be able to
Little
see.
toilet
And done
paper.
on the inside as well.
Yeah. But look at those. This,
Artie Squiggles.
and it was done on
Oh, the tea bags.
tea bags.
For man. We still have a few. They're great to work with. Lots of fun to, I mean, they take color beautifully.
They really do. And the semi-transparency, because I think we also did the leaves on tea bags.
I think so.
Yeah. Look at that. All of those little details.
And they have like a tab thing, and then on the back side, see, it clicks in, so that way it holds it too. The little magnets,
Of course.
of course. And each one has a different scrolly thing. Each one has my, signature little slow glue thread.
Attention to both sides, of course.
Oh,
Oops,
yeah.
we're running into and that thread business. I would watch her do that, and it would just the heebie-jeebies. A little feather business going on here. Every witch needs a little feather.
In her hat.
And
You colored her. You did the face
yeah,
and stuff.
I did. Well, I did the
And the spiders are from
any gel
napkins.
printing. Yeah.
And they colored really nicely. Like I used the watercolors to just go over them.
That was from a napkin. Someone sent. Puzzle.
Oh, Patty just bought some empty tea bags for an upcoming attempt at Aria Bond's Sumagashi technique.
Oh.
The paint in
Hey,
the water.
I want to watch that because I
Are
do.
you doing that today? How was Atlantic City?
Did you
Were
win
you-
lots of money?
Were you good?
Dance on 8 tables? Okay, why are you not coming loose here?
Well, that one needed a little adjustment. So yeah, it had
Okay.
a extra.
Add an
thing.
extra, I was going to say.
It didn't line up, and I don't. The cat got fat. I don't know.
I love the texture of the tea bags too.
They have
And
a really neat.
they're surprisingly strong.
Yeah.
I love, see the eyes there? Nice fluffy edge there, and this little tabby thing here, and then attention was paid on both sides of the bag, and this is the abstract web.
No, you were wrong about that.
It's the alien writing.
Scribbles.
Scribbles.
She's never accepted that name.
I think this is really lovely here, that
Well,
gel print, and I painted the tears.
What was funny is because I had gotten it so like wet from all of the sprays and everything, it started flaking off. I was like, oh, that goes perfect with, the whole zombie guy. Like, things are going to flake off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I recall, I had to do a couple of
That's Stompy Rock.
different ones for that one because we didn't get it right the first time.
Well, the color wasn't.
That was the other thing, is because you notice they're all different colors, so, but it still had to go together. Look at the back of that, isn't that wonderful?
And some of that ended up. So remember when we did the Seaside Journal, some of that is in the Seaside. It's kind of like the cat one, I think. It's got to be, yeah.
Okay, well, the magnets had a little help there.
Yeah.
So they stuck together. And this is pretty cool. You see the little...
Oh, yeah. So what I did there is I glued down little fluffy bits and then sewed through
the fluffy bits.
the fluffy bits.
And you see that it's
Yes.
actually suspended.
Every single one of these, well, especially the colorful ones, are stencil butter. It's either stencil butter or texture paste.
This is a really nice print.
It was a really nice print.
I think I was kind of...
Yes, you were apprehensive about giving me them.
Okay, so I was involved in all of this, and then I just, you know, I think that this...
She's like, I like it, but I need to do my own.
So I just... These are the cut-off strips of things to do the inside. You'll see in a minute. But I wrapped an old... one of my bracelets that wasn't finished in this chindi thing.
Yeah, she also had a vision with this. And then, oh, the whole thing was there were swap items because Peg had sent us.
Oh, yes, and we had to use those.
So there is actually caution tape. It was funny because Devin said that some of this should be wrapped in caution tape with the stories and everything. But there is caution tape, like faux, you know, like party kind of.
And then these are prints that were just, you know, I just did some different things too and scribbled on them and whatnot, and then came back in and added a little so that we have a roll. And then here's the
I don't know if you can actually see the caution tape through there, but
it's here. It really is honestly here.
yeah.
But it got covered up with a piece of the chindi.
Because nothing actually stuck to it very well.
Yeah. And
because I think you sewed that. So that is sewn into the...
oh, I had to. See the stitching here?
Because the glue wouldn't stick.
And whatnot. And I don't know if...
Yeah.
See, there's the caution tape underneath it. And then these guys...
They do actually flip back in, too.
Yeah.
The other way. There you go.
So, you put them down like this.
Those are the spooky characters that sort of make a weird pumpkin sculpture. What was it? The big
But they
Charlie
roll
Brown?
up. They roll up better this way.
Yes, they do. We figured that out.
Because they don't fit back into their little orifice if they're left down.
This is to be prepared to modify your plan.
Yes, but look at all this marvelous collaging that I did here before I ever got to that.
Yeah.
That part. Then Mariah helped me with the
Her one scroll took as long as my, other scrolls there. I think. You got a little later start.
I did.
Yeah.
And it's like everything else. You just react to each layer or each...
Rhonda says you could wear it as a Halloween crown.
Oh, my God.
A headband. Oh, if you made a little, thing.
I could.
Yeah.
Oh, Izzy would think that was wonderful. And so then...
Bye, Patty. Thanks for hanging.
Little display thing. Bye, Patty. Enough for my sanity check. Just get on with my to-do list. Thanks, ladies. Bye. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to watch Patty do her
yeah. Did she say if she was doing
Sumangashi. I don't know
later?
if she did.
Is she streaming later? No, she didn't say.
Thank you, Connie. She said she loves it too. All right. So I've got all this.
There's
here.
our past Halloween inspiration. I think we need to do another bound book because
I do too. This flippy business here took forever.
Yeah, and you never put them in the box right.
And I never put them in the box right. I'm just going to pile them up here and
That's
hand them to Mariah.
usually how it goes.
figure out how those little boogers go back in there. Now I don't know that I can get it across there.
Oh, I'll come around. That was the chair, by the way.
Okay. So basically, I think what we need to do is we need to think. I hate having anything out here on the table because of the water. Okay, I'll just put this down. You can look at this for right now. Gosh, this could even be.
Oh, yeah, because we didn't have that then.
We didn't have the barbed wire.
We have to include, the new Halloween stuff. And there's some more coming out. I had a very needy baby yesterday. So I did not get anything really done other than hanging out and being mommy yesterday, which is fine.
So I'm just going to write down some things over here. So we knew we want to do a bound book.
Yes.
So we need to create pages.
Yes.
And so in those pages, we can have. I definitely want webs. And I want to incorporate some watercolor somehow or other in here.
Yes, you said that.
And all of our little, the pumpkins, we need a pumpkin page. The new pumpkins.
Oh, Rhonda is going to do her Halloween book that is not going to be traditional orange and yellow and, you know, she's going to stick with deeper spooky house blues, purples, blacks.
Yeah, I think that because I think when you limit yourself with that color thing, that's a source of frustration.
Yeah, and it gets a little like,
yeah.
Enough is
Okay,
enough.
so we've got pumpkins. I think we still need
Christy says, bring in the murder. Hi, Christy.
We need witches.
Yes.
And I don't know that, and even the whole Frankenstein thing.
Now, one thing that we talked about,
Because I could do some watercolor, backgrounds for that.
yes. So one of the things that we sort of talked about, because we've always enjoyed, and you guys have noticed, like whenever we make a book, usually we include things that you guys
Nevermore.
send us. So, if anyone wants to send us little things, nothing crazy, because let me tell you, when Lisa sent us all of that Halloween stuff, I mean, we still have some of it left. We've got to dig it out. Try to incorporate a little bit of that into things too, but, a little envelope with a,
Cats, definitely. Nevermore, I wrote down Edgar Allan Poe because we have some great crows. We also need bats.
Yeah, we didn't have crows then. We now have bats. I mean, we got a lot of Halloween-y things.
Moons.
We've got the moons. We even have the animals. The furry friends. Got a raccoon, a bear, a fish.
Well, I don't know how that's going to work anyway. But, yeah, okay. I'll just write down animals. I'm not...
Well, you know how Devin did over the faces of the...
Oh, like masks. Like real masks. Halloween masks. Things. Spooky trees. Oh, yes.
Scary bear. Exactly. See, use them as masks. See, they're on. You guys.
Chainsaws. Christy, we don't have any chainsaws.
That might be next year.
But we could have that. We do have,
If you want to send us some stuff.
chicken feet. What's chicken feet?
I like that.
I don't know what. I'm going to just put chicken feet
Like,
up here.
for voodoo, because you've, they like the feet.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm with you,
voodoo.
Patricia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See,
okay.
use the wolf stencil as a werewolf.
Oh, yes.
All these things. Skeletons. We don't. So, the new set that's going to be coming out, hopefully this week. I'm going to try to get it out this week. From Paula. Yes. She has a skelly guy and a skelly hand, which is great. Now, they're all ATC size. Cauldrons, and we have that in the ATC set from Rhonda.
Okay, and the cauldrons can also. I'm just writing them down as I'm seeing them. Headless Rider.
Mm-hmm.
This is just so much fun. Wooden crosses. Oh, yeah. We've got some of those babies. For vampires.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get some garlic in there, too.
You rub it. Then we're just going to want, like, you know, Italian food
I
every
bought
time
a chicken foot to put in mixed media. It's really cool. I mean, like a real deal.
Oh, I love that idea, Lynn. Green, slimy texture. So we could, like, slime a page. That would be sort of fun. Now, the problem with that is that we're going to have to put something over it so, like, it doesn't stick.
Well, the green slime, we can make it visual rather than actual, I think.
We could baggy it.
Oh, we could baggy it.
So you could still, you know, because, like, there's those when kids...
A scratch and sniff book.
That would be fun.
I love it. Oh, that is just funny.
You'd be like, what is that smell? That would be funny.
Bugs. Oh, yes, bugs and worms.
Eyeballs. Oh, we have the bugs, too. Remember? We have all the little worms. Do you still have those over there?
Mm-hmm.
I think we should just, you know, gel print them and glue them down.
Oh, I think so, too. Oh, the garlic patch. Yes. Where is that scratch and sniff? I'll just put that. See, look, that can't.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
What other kind of smells could we make that aren't,
Candles.
like, totally offensive?
Haunted mansions. Yes, haunted mansions. Because I was thinking about that with Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, spice candles. Oh, yeah.
They painted it thick gray color. I think they dehydrated it. Oh.
Patchouli potions.
Yeah, you know I'm down with that. Oh, yes, the falling people. This is where they would be appropriately falling. Oh, yes.
Potion bottles. Yeah, I've got that.
I think I only have a few scented candles because they kind of make
Oh,
me,
yes,
like,
trees. We've got trees.
Oh, yes. Because we could even use Lucy's trees.
Oh, yeah.
They're great trees.
Scented wax. Yeah.
Ooh, and it would be cool if we could find some, like, you know, if we did use some, like, just flowers or herby looking things and then dripped wax over them to keep them on the page. So it's kind of like a spell book.
Oh, yeah.
But then throughout the spell book, we can just put in little actual things. Or maybe it's just a section, like one page is a spell. And then, you know, like it could, like, fold up or roll out. And then have the cool little things attached to it.
I think so, too. And even if it was the cauldron was the main thing there. And
Oh, out of the bottom.
It could be the, what do you call it? Stick it, the pocket.
Yeah,
cauldron.
and you can do one of your little catching, tab and catch, you know, out of the cauldron. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, and we could use, aqueous could be in the background. So, like, if the whole page was a big cauldron-looking thing, you could put the aqueous in the background as it was, you know, bubbling
up.
And make it like a, you know, limey green. We could use the stencil butter.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've got all of our characters, which would include a faux bone. Oh, yes. Need bones. Oh, for the wrap. The closure.
Mm-hmm. Christy says a ghost. Need a ghosty page. Maybe a little ghost story.
Oh, I can't spell. Ghosty.
Mm-hmm.
Wrath.
Mm-hmm. Rats. I feel like this book's gonna be fat.
Bogs and branches. Where's my trees?
Well, this can be the list, and we'll just try to, kind of scratch them off as we.
Oh yes, the thickly the cover. Where do I have my cover here somewhere?
Yeah, we're not in flowers anymore. That's for sure. And I did have somebody request some dead roses as far as stencils.
Well, I can make the others look dead.
But we need one that's kind of closed, kind of hanging over.
I don't know if I spelled that right.
But yes, we can do the roses in black for sure. Carrie's roses will be perfect for that. But we need a dead rose, like one that's just hanging over and it's, closed up. Oh, good call. Carrie says, found items, the twigs, stones, feathers, small bleached chicken bones. Oh, we should.
Oh, skulls! My gosh, how could we forget skulls?
Oh, and we have skulls now. We didn't have skulls then. No, real animal bones.
I used to have some.
Yeah, you've got some different things around here.
Webs, definitely. Okay, now I think I had a web page here. Yeah, webs. Okay. Skulls, skulls. Yes, we.
Oh, and we have the stamps. Yes. And more things coming, definitely. Hoping to get Darcy has some stuff. We're gonna have that out this week. It's the first, so some stuff coming out from Carrie and like I said, Paula.
Okay, now I have graveyard.
So Friday is the 1st. I'm glad we're getting started now. And then keep in mind that with Friday being the 1st, that there will start, we're going to re-up a month of all the different featured things that we do over in Makers. So we'll have the swap that's coming up. There will be a new color combo. There will be... Eddie, are you taking over the collage prompt thing again, or...
Now, Carrie said, Mariah, I think this should possibly be a maker's challenge to create a grimoire type thing for Halloween. I mean, what do we have going for October as far as the...
Well, so it's opposites in and out. Now, is Sharon still here? Sharon, still here? I see Lisa's here.
Sharon's tree with the moon, definitely. Yeah, I've got trees down here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put moon.
Okay.
You think you'll remember
if you
these
would,
things,
thank
but
you.
you won't.
Yeah, so, okay. What do you guys think about us, because I don't think anybody's created anything for opposite in and out. We could, we are the creators of it all, and, we could switch it and just go grimoire for October.
Spooky windows.
Or we could, say you can do the opposite in or out, or do grimoire for the Makers Creative Club.
Yeah, because, some people that they may not have the...
well, some people aren't totally into this.
Yeah. And they could just...
Do the opposite in and out.
Okay, werewolf. I think I wrote down werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did. And Darcy says we can modify the plan for October. And somebody asked if we've heard from Judy.
I mean, she's still been posting on her page. She's just out, you know, kind of living her best life right now.
And she really doesn't, yeah.
She's been hanging with her family and
yeah,
just
okay.
doing that sort of thing.
It's not opposite, it's get squirrely.
Oh, that is for September. We're talking October.
Yeah.
You know, we're thinking ahead.
October.
Maxine.
Gravestones, got it, Christy. Gravestones, graveyard.
Oh, that was Sharon that was saying that. It's not opposite, it's getting squirrely. Yeah, I know, that's September. We're talking about October.
Yeah, October.
Mm-hmm. Squirrels are September. Opposites in and out are October. But we're going to be working on this book for 2 months.
Oh, yeah, because I think in all of these pages you can have little pockets that you can pull things in and out. Or like Paula did with her cover, you know, the little flip things.
Yeah.
Ah, I know, Paula, isn't it the truth? I'm very jazzed about this, and I think that this is going to be like the best ever.
Or we can just, you know, make it a side thing. I'm cool either way.
Yeah, in and out actually plays into all of it, into Halloween anyway.
Yeah.
That's what Kylie Koo said. I think that's definitely true. Okay.
Creaky doors. We could even have a little sound element to
Oh,
it.
and see, we need that because
Sound.
now that's going to go with my haunted mansion.
Okay.
Creaky doors.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
And somewhere else I had windows. I may have gotten it down here twice, but I just think that all this, yeah.
I don't know if he gets that, Eddie.
What?
I mean, I would guess he's probably been to California. I think that's where that started. The In-N-Out burgers.
Oh, get one of those cards with the sound of the first page covered up so it creaks when you open it. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, we could even get we could go to the store and get the ones that you can record.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we can make our own.
Hinges on the cover and cut out.
Oh, that's
window cover.
right. Carrie has the Gothic windows. I mean, we have buttloads for Halloween. I think we even, you know, we have a category called Halloween on the website. Hopefully all of these things that we've talked about are pretty much there.
Rattling windows.
And that would be pretty funny. I bet I can probably order little things that we can make noises and press the buttons. Versus buying an expensive card to do it.
Yes. Sound effects.
Mm-hmm.
And they said there's so much you can use for Halloween. Yeah. That it might not necessarily just be Halloween, but yeah.
Totally. Like, you know, like I was saying, even with the Aqueous doing the bubbling cauldron thing, that would be, and we even have bubbles too.
Get them in bulk and every page can have its own sound.
There we go. I love that idea.
Well, grungy wallpaper walls, that goes without saying.
Yeah, would you please dig through your pile of prints that you already have that fit that description? I think we need to go through these boxes over here.
Yes, we could do that. Better be careful or be pulling up the barbed wire.
Well, what are you going to pull that with? Why don't you do that?
You want me to go ahead and do that?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll hand this over to you in case anybody says anything
Okay.
else. You can write it down there. And even if it's down there, you know, write it in 2 different places if it needs to be.
Yeah, and then Rhonda said she even took a screenshot because she loves the list. So
Oh.
we can post it in Makers.
Howls too. I felt the eye roll all the way up here. Why did I eye roll? Okay, I'm going to move this little jobber out of the way here so I can get this up where we need to get it.
Oh yes.
Let's do something. Let's do something ombre-y here.
Ombre-y.
Ombre-y that looks kind.
Hello, Barbara.
Kind of maybe smoky and
We just been yammering about
atmospheric. How about that?
rocks. We went through rocks, and then we went through Halloween, and now we're into a little gel printing because this might make it into the book. Who knows?
Okay.
You have like a whole page of like sharp objects like knives and
I love
stuff.
me a smoky ombre. Yeah, me too. Smoky ombre.
I don't know if that was the same kind Eddie was talking about.
Eddie? Okay, I'm going to get a little retarder out here. Because remember when we used this small blue hue? This sucker dries faster than gold on a hot Arizona highway.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been watching Billions, and they have such wonderful metaphors on there. I just, okay, I can actually put this down over here and kind of mix it in with the others because it's on the edge there anyway. And
yeah. You're not going to have the blob. Or if you have the blob, it's really not going to be visible
Not
necessarily.
going to be that big of a hoop-de-doo.
Hoop-de-doo.
And the golden blue, really, it's pretty...
Just the schmaltz.
The schmaltz blue is the one that's kind of a...
Yeah.
And it... I want a lot of it because I think I really love that color. And it mixes with other colors differently than...
Oh, Rhonda would like to know which of the golden fluids is a good deep blood red color, not too bright. Anyone? Hello, Carol.
The fluid? Oh, I've got 3 over here. That's really a good question. Because you've got the pyrrole red.
Yeah, that's like, you just cut your finger.
And the cadmium red.
It could be drying up.
And then you've got quinacridone red. So it's the more purple red.
I would say that's...
The pyrrole is probably the most... I think that's probably this one. But,
yeah. Fresh blood or dry blood?
Oh, shit.
Sugar.
Yeah, that went down into the deep recesses. We'll have to dig that out later.
That'll be coming out later.
Okay, this is just a little bit of this. And then I'm going to just put around hither and yon.
Mm-hmm.
To make it all kind of smoky. This stuff.
I've been using that a lot lately. It's that over there just being neglected for a long time.
Well, I'd forget about it.
Yeah.
Probably have enough paint to do a wall here, but oh well.
Yeah.
We don't really care.
Making good backgrounds and flip out pages
I just
and
keep knocking stuff over here. It's kind of a... I'm going to have a crash and burn situation. Okay.
Paula says, paint-ish question. I see that the Crafter's Workshop has gold gesso. What would you do with this?
Gold gesso. Well, if you just wanted to put down a...
Yeah.
If you just wanted to put down a whatever background and put stuff on top of it.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how shimmery it really is. Like, is it gold or is it,
Well, that's some weird... Oh, that's where the... See, that's where the...
There you go. Is that a for sure thing, Yolan? Or are you still waiting to hear? That little technique thing that she just did, just keep in mind that you're going to want to watch the edges of your brayer. This is how you get crazy buildup. And yeah, see over there? And how that happens? Mm-hmm. That's how it happens.
Okay. I mean, there's still a lot of paint up there at the top.
But can you stop?
Yeah, I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
Because I think I've got some smoky stuff. Good enough smoky stuff going down here. Okay, we're going to have to go for the big paper or the tissue.
Your call. Well, big paper.
Might be the cover.
No.
You don't know that.
For sure.
See, this is where we go. This is when I say, well, I'm just going to have to make my own book because you're not doing what I want you to do. And get.
Yeah.
But then I get about halfway through mine and I'm going, I really need you to make me some pages here because I don't know what to do with all this stuff. Oh, good heavens.
Well, now that is actually way cooler than I thought it was. I thought it was just red, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't think that's going to be real. That's wonderful.
Very mucky.
Mucky. Yes, something mucky happened there.
Yeah. All right. I think that's going to be a good one, y'all.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how many of these things we fit into the book, which should be fun.
Well, and I think a lot of these things can actually, if they're not like the page, they can be little things on the inside in a tuck spot.
Oh, yeah, comboed up for sure.
Or, yeah, that kind of thing. Isn't that a wonderful blue? It's that smalt. And see, what happened was there's enough white in the light phthalo blue that it opaqued it out, because the smalt blue really is
It's not.
transparent.
Yeah. Y'all see that?
It's just such a nice purpley blue. I really do love it.
I love that small, but it's super dry. Like,
Uh-oh.
oh, good golly.
Oh, this is the day for
Things
crashes and burns.
Things falling down in the holes.
Yeah, okay, I've got that taken care of. Because I didn't want these little things on my brayer. Remember when I talked about that?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want those on your brayer because they will impart a texture that you...
May not want to impart on everything.
Everything. I've got one up there that I use when I want to do that.
Already have one of those.
We have one of those. Okay, I've got some things to pull back here. Shall I just go ahead and...
Oh, Darcy says this is why you have studio tongs. She has some long tongs that she grabs things with that fall down under, you know. Get out the tongs.
I need some of those up here, and I need to take some of my spatulas downstairs. Okay, well this is kind of flashing back to what we were doing
God.
with our Buddha bricks and baths.
Uh-huh.
Well, I got up more than I thought I would because
yeah, not much
Everything
left back
except-
there. But it had been there long enough, it left the impression.
Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just so fun. That freaked me out when that first happened.
Yeah, because you're like...
I'm like, oh, holy crapola. All right, now I want you to look at this before I ever pull it off here. See this? We're hoping. Fingers crossed.
It's not necessarily a good sign.
No.
But this is the red one, I don't care. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Where's mine? I'll tell you what. I don't know if Anthony's still here, but this is the kind of present that you want to give people because it just keeps on giving. You know, every time I use this, I just think how thankful I am to have that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted one for a really, really, really long time.
Yep.
Oh.
I think Buddha's staying. Plate and all.
Well, we can try this. You know, everybody's always talking about how wonderful this works.
Well, it doesn't curl your paper. That's the main thing.
If I can just, you know, kind of
work it as you go.
Work it as I go, I can glue that stuff back down. So this is not such a crazy idea if I can just, you know.
Where's your little tiny spatula? That's what you need. Ooh, or that, yeah. Eddie got one of those. Eddie has his series out right now. I think 2 videos now for a book that he's making. Darcy did a fantabulous, also very hilarious, kind of mixed version of the distressing. So Bonnie's technique of the sanding of the papers. There we go, my brain. And she also then used oil pastel or a crayon, or maybe both, and then sprayed them. And then she made some things with them. It's a good video. I highly enjoyed it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, you should. I recommend that one for sure. There you go. I know, she cracks me up.
Okay, now you see, that is completely loose. So I've got to glue all that down. Now I can take and get these little pieces, but I think it looks kind of cool. It's like...
It's a little freaky.
It
looks like it was
It's been
burned
there
on
for a long time.
Or it looks like it was burned on the wall or something. Got crusty.
Yeah. And I've got these little pieces here, and I don't even know if it's worth, you know, pulling these off.
Just get it on
Hey,
the
this little hootie doo, and I don't even know where they would go. I'm not doing that. Screw
No,
that.
just
I'm done.
I'm over that.
I'm over that.
I've thought about it. That was it.
That was it. So now we have to glue it back down.
We're gonna get to watch that.
I don't know. Nah, I don't want to do that because I'm going to have to re-pull it back up. This is going to be painstaking work here.
Yeah, it's not that. She's gonna glue it down.
I'm going to glue it down. Enough said.
It looks really cool from the side.
Because there's a lot of...
That is your special mixture.
Yes, it is.
Of the texture,
It
of the stencil butter.
It is. Okay, I think that's it for pulling. I think I've got anything else there.
You know, Darcy, most of those were done by Mo. And then if she didn't know certain things, then we filled it in a little bit on the glossary.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now that was the very last rubbing off of this cleaning of the Buddha stencil onto this. So I'm just thinking I'm going to make this look very kind of oldie.
Okay. You got 8 minutes.
I can do it. That was really wonderful. If you don't have one of those, I highly recommend you get one. I was going to use my paint palette knife, but I think that worked a lot better because nothing stuck to that. The paint palette knife, sometimes it sticks to it.
And it's brilliant because whenever you smooth things out, and even when it gets stuck on there, you just peel it off.
I don't need that. I've got this one here. Okay. Yeah. So it didn't stick to... I didn't have to peel it off the thing I was using to get it up. That's always nice. Now this is probably going to be really loosey-goosey, and I'm going to have to get something down on it. Let me get my paper right. Yeah.
Hey, we still need to cut up the paper downstairs too, by the way.
I
guess
know,
whenever you're
I
out of
moved it
paper.
out of the way because I was looking for a... I just knew that we had one of these long white dishes. You know which one I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, definitely, Carrie. Thank you.
Capture just thrice. That's why you have to have your paper ready.
Definitely. Don't be looking for the paper.
I need to really take time and sand that off and clean it up and tone oil it again.
Yes.
I think that looks really cool.
It is very good.
Captured those little boogers just
yes,
at the
you
right,
did.
the exact time at which they needed to be captured. I don't have anything else up over here except a bunch of stuff that needs
stuff.
needs either cleaning off or,
Okay.
taken up.
Here, you can put the thing back out there. Alrighty, guys, so that ends our Sunday stream. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you have come in, this is the end. Do say hello in the chat. This is your last opportunity. This is it. Or give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you're new, ring that bell. We do this 4 times a week, and then we also have, like, most of these lovely folks that are here in the chat will also hang out over there in the Makers of Mixed Media Art Artists Facebook group, because lots of things are happening. It's getting there towards the first of the month, and that's really when all the things start happening, and you want to, like, join things and all that business. So that's that. We will be back here. I will be back tomorrow to finish up the, little booky thing that I'm doing. I'm going to do the other side and then probably get back into the other book. But that is the Mariah Makes on Monday. Monday Makes with Mariah. There we go. That's the one.
Okay, Carrie must be going someplace. I'll not be in the next few streams. That's
Yes.
good. I'll explain soon. Okay.
Yes. And then, yes, we'll see you guys back here on, Monday and then Tuesday and then, Thursday and Sunday. Bye, guys.
Bye.